All right. We're doing it on a Friday this time because the beer awards, the Queensland Beer Awards were on Wednesday, and Thursday we kind of had a mix-up and we didn't do it, but lots to discuss. Hendo will be coming in shortly. I can see him in the Google Doc. Here he is. Let's bring him in. Bring him into the tea room. Dark Hendo.
What's going on?
You're dark again. Oh, look at the lighting here.
Oh,
How good.
hang on, here we go. There we go. That's a bit better. I'll turn this fucking light off as well. Oh, it's Friday.
It's Friday, and I'm in the tea room, and because it's earlier than our normal time, I've got the natural light lighting me up, and I look amazing.
Smart move, smart move. How was your week?
Good. I went to Harry Styles on Wednesday.
Who's Harry Styles?
He's I suppose he's originally a contestant on American Idol.
Yes.
And then part of the One Direction band, which you may be familiar with.
Yes. Oh, was he in that?
He was in that.
Yeah.
And he was also had a cameo at the end of the last Marvel movie where he was like the bad guy right at the end.
Right.
He's been in movies and shit. And I don't know, he's one of the biggest stars in the world, if not the biggest. Actually, not the biggest, because Ed Sheeran performed to 107,000 people last night in Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah. Yeah.
There's only 50,000 at Suncorp.
I read a really interesting article this week that was like, it basically said the older you get, the less you listen to new music.
Not if you got kids.
This is true.
Yeah. My kids have every bit as shitty a taste in music that I have, so it works out perfectly well.
Oh, well, that's good. Have you got a beer?
I've got one, yeah. I found one in the back of the fridge. I'll save that for later, but I've just got an East Coast for now with a Yeti cooler.
All right. Well, I'm going to match that up with something hazy as well.
Okay.
I've got this Australian brewery, Lucid Dreams, from which is an oat cream pale ale.
Wait. Do that again. I just fucked up my screenshot. Nice. Yep.
And I don't get to drink Australian breweries beers very much. You know how I landed on this beer?
Because of our conversations around 330 ml cans.
No,
and they sent you some?
This is 375.
I know. They've changed their tune.
Yeah, but do you know how this beer landed up in my lap?
Someone gave it to you at the Queensland Beer Awards?
No. It just got dropped off about a week or so ago. Adam Shell. Or should I say Brad Pitt?
Oh. Wait, why is he Brad Pitt?
So literally Brad Pitt came round to my house and dropped off this beer.
Well, cheers to that. Why is he Brad Pitt?
Well, because he had his facial reconstruction surgery.
I see.
Yeah. And before he went under the knife, he said to the doctor, he showed him a picture of Brad Pitt on his phone and said, "Can you make me look like this?"
How good was the doctor?
Not that good. So it's so funny this week because every time I'd walk past Anzi, I'd just stop and do the double take and go, "Oh fuck, it's Brad Pitt."
Oh, nice. Was he doing the judging?
Nah. Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And he was good in Fight Club.
He was great in Fight. Brad Pitt's the best. How were the beer awards?
Excellent. Yeah. I love this competition. A few of us on the organising committee, Lee, who's one of the 12, he's also on the organising committee of this competition. And we, there's a new young lady from the RNA who's running the competition now, Mel. And when we first started talking to her, I was a little, because she's taken over from Steph and that sort of thing. And when we first started talking to her, I was a little bit nervous about how it was going to go down because she was new and a little bit shy. She's quite young, lots of stuff. And in the last 2 weeks, absolutely crushed it. Just everything came together. Anything that you sort of said, I was like, make sure we do this year because we said we would improve on that last year. Everything got done. Judges' results were out within 48 hours of all the awards being announced.
Nice.
And so she just did an amazing job. And as far as the organising committee goes, Joss Erickson, who was the head steward, just fucking did an amazing job. Everything was just so well organised, and the stewards were all really awesome. We got started quickly. There's just so many boxes to tick. The standard of the judge feedback was really good. We've lifted the skills of so many people, because we organise it so that we get all the TAFE students to come and judge. Come and steward.
Yeah.
Students to come and judge. That's the way to go. Anyway, and so by having all of these stewards, some of the stewards who've been there for a couple of years get to elevated to associate judge, and then some of the associate judges get elevated to judge, and some of the judges get elevated to table captain, and so much to the point this year that we actually had 2 floating judges, had Christine and Keelan from Stone and Wood, who are just phenomenal judges. Nice. Who all of a sudden, what we could do was we could work on judging standards, right? Which every competition strives to do, is to work on judging standards. So that means things like making sure that beers are being scored appropriately, that judging panels don't get in a rut and just give bronze medals just because it's like, hey, you're palate fatigued. And that's
how does that work? You're going around from table to table.
Yeah. So they were basically able to go around from table to table, sit in on a flight, check in on all of the judges and associate judges, and also evaluate the table captains as well. And so I've seen a few of the judge results. Some clients have sent their judge results through to me, and the standard of the scoring is very appropriate. The actual words, the feedback is amazing, and I really want to build this competition to a place where this is the pre-game before the ARBAs, because Brewers, so entries for the ARBAs are open, right?
Yeah.
And so you can actually go and have your beer assessed by a very talented pool of judges whose skills we're really, really working hard on, and get your judge feedback. You can actually take that feedback and go and rebrew certain beers in time for the ARBAs. So it's amazing, and it's a pretty cost effective, competition and that sort of thing. So
yeah. Oh, very good. Well, why don't we go through our predictions?
This is delicious beer, by the way. Lucid Dreams. What the fuck makes a beer oat cream? Is it lactose? It's lactose, isn't it?
Lactose. All right. Let's go through our predictions for the beer awards, because there's some potential money on the table here. All right.
Bring it.
All right. So we did 6 different categories, and we each had a prediction.
Right.
Before going into this, I think I was winning 4-3 in the overall race to 10 in the over-under.
Yep.
And the winner has to buy the other person a Dixon Flano, which are not cheap.
Okay.
And I'm unemployed, so I'm nervous about how this is going to go. All right. So I was winning, before this, I was winning 4-3. Now, let's have a look at these results. Best new brewery. You said Hiker.
Yeah.
I said Burley Barrels. The winner was Scarborough Harbour.
Yeah. That was amazing.
They did really well, didn't they?
Oh, they did amazing. Yeah, I've never been out there to try the beers. I was talking to Joss. She's taken some bus trips out there. She says a really nice venue. She has
waterfront, water views, and
Yeah, I actually saw the plans for it when it was sort of in planning and DAs and stuff like that, just laying on my desk and that sort of thing. And I went, oh, that's kind of nice. So I think it's going to be a field trip.
Field trip, yeah, 100%. They did amazingly well. I confess I had never even heard of them, which I think I need to broaden my horizons a bit because I'm finding so many breweries that I've never even heard of now. I need to up my education if we're going to keep doing the podcast.
Yeah, so amazing effort. Well done. Congratulations.
Well done. So, neither of us get a point.
Yeah, that's right.
Best brew pub. You said Burley Barrels.
Yes.
I said Easy Times. Winner was
neither.
Scarborough Harbour Brewing.
The fucking dark horse comes through, doesn't it?
This is the actual beer I'm going to drink out of the schooner glass because I just had a couple of little sips in the East Coast left. But
a normal schooner or a Brewdog schooner? Brewdog schooner.
I confess the only time I ever use this glass is when we do the podcast.
You know, the thing is, though, is that they send you the Brewdog size schooner, but if you go to one of their bars, you get a normal schooner.
Well, actually, they use the same glasses that we use at Black Ops, and it's not an actual schooner.
Is it a Schmitty?
It's 400 mil.
That's a Schmitty.
What's a Schmitty again? It's an in between.
Well, a Mitty is a pot.
Yeah.
Right? And a schooner is a schooner, not a Brewdog schooner.
No.
And a Schmitty is halfway between a Mitty and a schooner.
Well, the Black Ops glass and the Brewdog glass, I can't remember the name of it. It's a tulipy sort of glass. Great glass, but it's not in between. It's almost a schooner. It's very close to being a schooner.
Yep.
So I don't think it's a Schmitty.
Right.
Because the Schmitty would be, what, 425, it'd be 350 or something.
Yep.
This is 400, so it's almost a schooner. It's not quite a schooner. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Small to medium brewery. You picked Moffat. I picked Moffat. And the winner was Moffat.
What does that mean?
Well, that's the question. Did we both get a point or did neither of us get a point? Because I thought we'd both get a point because we're both right.
Well, that just takes it closer to 10 or we can draw it out. It's up to you.
Well, I mean, I would choose to draw it out because the results that are following from here and we're getting close to 10.
Okay, let's draw it out then.
Okay.
Happy to go push to the next round.
Okay, I'll put no one wins, but we deserve a bit of credit for.
I'm giving you a bit of a pat on the back. You give me a pat on the back.
Yeah, good. Pat on the back. All right. Large brewery. You said Stomping Ground.
Yes.
I said Black Ops, but I said it knowing that I was extremely biased.
Yes.
The winner was Stomping Ground. So they also won the Interstate Steel, the local title award.
Yes. 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Yeah.
Oh dear. Holy shit. Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
Well, good on them. They've had a tough run and they've been making great beer for a very long time.
Look,
they're the best.
You know, it's happy brewers make happy beer, you know, all that sort of stuff. So something's going right there. So good on them.
Yeah. And now this one, I just feel like an idiot, but I shouldn't have lost this one. This was absolutely stupid. How many gold medals for Moffat?
Right.
You said 3, which threw me because I thought you were going to put up a massive number.
Yes.
And then I psyched myself out and just thought, well, fuck it, I'll try and be different and hedge the bet of Moffat, like me choosing Moffat for the small to medium.
Right.
I chose 2.
Right.
Wait, let me first clarify. Do we count a gold as if you get a gold in pack and draft, that's 1 gold, right? It's just a gold for the product.
That's 2.
That's 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the way I've calculated it is wrong. But I think they got 5 individual products with gold and maybe 7 total if you count the draft. And I didn't actually count the total because I thought it was just by product.
Yeah. No, in this competition and also in the ARBAs, if we choose to do an over-under for the ARBAs, you can enter draft and pack. It has to go into the same style category and class. You can't so for example, if you've got something that kind of represents a strong pale ale, you can't enter it in your draft in strong pale ale and your packaged product in IPA or something like that, right? So they've got to go in the same class. So if you get and it's actually a good thing to do because it actually tells the brewer if their packaging operations for small pack versus draft are working in sync. And so you're saying that, like, did Moffs or something get 2 gold medals or something?
I'll bring it up right now. I think they got 7. Let me have a look.
Yeah, but I want to know how many beers got 2 gold medals.
I think
from
2.
draft and pack.
I think 2. Let me have a look. So Pale Ale, Passenger Pale got gold in pack, silver in draft. Deadbeat Boyfriend Easy Drinker.
Easy Drinker, yeah.
Oh, Deadbeat Boyfriend Cream Ale. Oh, they're 2 different beers. That's interesting. Oh, no, they're bronze. Cold Crush Cold IPA got silver and bronze. Trilogy West Coast IPA got gold in draft. Trilogy Best Coast IPA got gold in pack. So that's 2.
There you go.
So that one got gold in both. Moff Summer Ale got gold in draft and silver in pack. There you go. Social Jam got gold in both. So draft, pack, gold in both. Man, every beer they entered, wasn't that 1 bronze, 1 or 2 silvers? Everything else got gold. Shadow of Moon, Strong Pale Ale, gold in draft, silver in pack. So yeah, there was 2. So the 7 golds total. Amazing.
Yeah, right. Well done.
Okay, and obviously you win that because I fucking guessed 2 like an absolute idiot.
No, is it? Oh, but I didn't guess the right number.
No, but you were a lot closer. You don't think you won that?
Oh, I thought it was I thought it was guess. Oh, okay, I get what you're doing. So
it wasn't actually an over and under. So you're right. I mean, I didn't lose.
Yeah. Was the idea to guess the exact number or to guess up to, and if you go over, that's you don't win?
We didn't specifically call that an over under.
Right.
I feel a bit tight taking that one from you though. I don't know.
Should have gone 4, and then
you did take one from me the other day though. That was a bit.
All right, well, that's 1 for me then.
I think it's 1 for you. You were a lot closer. I decided to go under. I could have gone 4, and anything above 4 I would have been closer to, but I went under.
Yeah,
it's 1 for you.
There you go.
What an effort though. That's some.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
That's the second time they've won champion beer too for the same beer.
For the same beer, yeah, 2020 and this year, yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah. Well, because it was really interesting. They didn't have any Moff's summer ale cans left before the awards, and they wanted to, because they all got consumed in the judging and that sort of thing, in trophy rounds and all that sort of stuff. So this beer got poured a lot, and every can got used, and they had none left. And so they rang up Black Sheep Bottle Shop or something up in Newmarket, and went and picked up a box of beer that day. And then I wound up with one of them in my hand.
Nice.
And cracked it. And I'm standing there with Matty Wilson just fucking going, come on, man, what did you do? He's like, no, we did nothing, man. I'm like, come on, what's your secret? Are you using antioxidants? Got no DO meter. Come on, what is it, man? Fucking tell me. And he's like, just careful and that sort of thing, And then I cracked this tin of Moff Summer Ale from a fucking bottle shop. And I'm just standing there, and just hops just swirl up into my nose, and I just look at him going,
a lot of hops in that beer.
Yeah,
he's
done. Whatever he's doing, he's executing it extremely well, and bloody kudos to that, man.
That was insane. I mean, it's just we should go through the list of Moff's trophies over the Moffat Beach trophies over the last, because it's not just Queensland Beer Awards; they won the ABA one as well.
ARBAs as well. Watch them at the ARBAs, mate.
All right, Interstate Ring In. You voted for Alice Springs Brewing Co. I voted for Sydney Brewery. Winner, again, Stomping Ground. So no one wins that.
Fair enough.
But I won none of them, and you got 2. So the position, if you count the one that we both got, is 5-4 to you. So you've taken the lead, basically.
There you go. Not bad.
Not bad.
I'm halfway there.
Um, I
Living
saw.
on prayer.
Oh yeah, same. Shout out to. I don't want to fuck this up because I saw a couple of new breweries that did very well. I think it was Hiker and Hound and Stag. Let me have a look.
Hound and Stag got a trophy.
That's
Hound and Stag got a trophy for their Red Baron, which I think is a raspberry.
like a mixed culture beer or something.
Yes, yeah, for a
That's
Berliner Weiss.
insane.
Yes, for a brewery that that is I think how long's it been open? Open in January, didn't it?
I went to the. I was the first one lining up when they opened. It was it was a
when
couple
was
of
that?
months ago. A couple of months ago, yeah.
It was open December or January or something like that, and there they are, straight up trophy.
Especially for that kind of beer, it's amazing.
Oh, look, I think they've done an amazing job, and yeah, I think they've got a couple of silvers and bronzes as well. And I usually say to my clients when I work with them, expect the first 12 months of your brewery opening to be you dialing things in and beers going wrong, the odd beer going down the drain and stuff like that.
100%.
But for them to open and trophy, holy shit balls.
That's amazing. And Hiker, who've been open for fucking 2 weeks?
Yep. And they
gold
got,
medal,
I think,
for
the Wee Little.
Yeah.
Wee Little. Have you tried that beer?
No.
Fucking amazing. It's
good.
literally, it's like a wee heavy, but mid-strength. It's 3.5%. And that was that was actually their test brew when they were commissioning the kit.
That's cool.
And so when they first tapped it and I went and had a look while I was sort of finishing off construction, I went, God damn, this beer is really good for a MIDI. What an amazing beer in a small package. And gold medal. So super. And my personal favorite, which is Wanderlust, which is their Pilsner, which I thought was sensational, got a silver medal.
Nice.
Which is awesome. So I'm quietly confident that Dan and Phil will do well in the future.
I think that's awesome. Podcast alumni as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not that it's all about us, but
what we need to do is we need to manufacture some medals, like gold medals, that just at the gold medals just got 12 on it.
12. Oh yeah. We don't have any money.
Yeah.
We don't have any sponsors.
Mm.
That was your job, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
All right. Beer cartel survey results came out the same day as the. This is funny.
Queensland Awards.
Because this is always something I work on every year, and I'm always like keen. It's something I've followed forever.
Yeah. So just remind everyone who's not familiar with what the beer cartel survey is.
Yeah, well, it's been going for as long as I've been in the industry, and it was always like, okay, you want to learn about what's happening in the industry. This is about the only survey that actually happens, and they do it every single year. But last year, I don't know, they were busy working or whatever, busy with designers and just didn't get a chance to put it out. So this happened, all the work that went into it happened a long time ago, but it only got released, I guess, yesterday, which was the same day as the day after the Queensland Beer Awards.
I'll put the link in there for you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, good. I was just doing that as well, but it's okay.
What's the here we go. Let's just go to the key findings from the research. Number 1, Black Hops voted as Australia's best craft brewery.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 2 years in a row, kind of.
Well, 2 years in a row is good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they didn't do it the year before, but yeah. Very
well
good.
Done.
I think if we have any listeners...
Did they take a year off?
Yeah, they took a year off. COVID. If we have any people who listen to the pod who are in the Black Ops Ambassador group, I should thank you guys, because this was something that I worked on quite a while ago before I finished up. And it's a weird thing because it's a survey. So you want to just tell people to fill in the survey because you want the information. But
Yes.
if our fans are filling in the survey, it means that they're probably going to select Black Ops as their favorite brewery. And they put how many people voted in there. And I think we got 1,100 votes or something. So, and we didn't do much to tell people to submit it other than what I always do every year, which is like, I want people to do it because I'm interested in the information. I put in the ambassador group and they did. So they should be thanked for that. So hopefully, if they're listening, thank you for voting. Mate.
That's good. It's really interesting. What I actually really like about this survey, it's very different to the hottest 100 craft beers. So you think about the hottest 100 craft beers, it is in in itself a survey, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know how many. Well, I think they tell you how many people filled out the survey. It's like 14.
Gabs. They both tell you how many people filled out it as a whole, but the beer cartel one tells you how many votes each section got. So you can't
like percentage wise and that sort of thing.
No, it tells you the number of votes. So I know 1,140 people chose Black Ops as the favorite brewery.
Oh, okay.
It tells you specifically that, but doesn't do that on this podcast category.
That's not on this page, is it?
Yeah, you got to click on the link at the bottom under each category that sort of gives you.
Where are you, Black Ops?
Let me have a look.
Okay. It says view full results here.
View full results, yeah, but they don't have full results for the podcast one because I think Sorry, I'll let you make your point, but don't forget the other key piece of news out of this, Hendo.
Is that the Boss and the Brewer podcast got 12 votes, and we're the third most popular podcast.
How good
in the country by usage?
That's awesome.
Why is there no fucking click for full results?
I know.
Maybe it's because there's not enough. I reckon it's because there's not enough thingos in the list. Well, that's amazing. Thank you to all 12 of you for voting us the third most favorite beer podcast. I'm super grateful for that. Thank you.
Me too. I think it's fucking awesome. And the first thing, I didn't even know the survey was out. The first I saw was someone posted in the group that we were third. It's like, this is awesome.
We're just two dickheads talking to 12 people.
Apparently 12 is enough to get you into third.
Like I said on the Facebook group today, 24, and we're going to number one.
So next year, 24?
I think we get 24 votes. I think we might do okay.
I want to know how many people voted and if it was a multiple of 12. It says 10% of craft beer drinkers listen to podcasts, which I assume means 10% of the people who completed the survey.
Yep.
But there must be a lot of industry people who complete the survey, right? Like, it's not just like the average person getting a beer from the bottle shop. Do you think?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But, they mail this out to their customer list, which would be huge from the advent calendar that they do and that sort of thing. So it's people who are engaged with good beer in Australia. So
yeah.
It's awesome.
I think that's fucking cool.
What a great result. I was not expecting that at all.
Neither. I was stoked with that. I didn't think we'd even make it, but that's super cool. So yes, sharing what you said. Thank you very much to the 12 people who voted for us.
Absolutely.
Anything else interesting out here? Like a lot of growth in low alc. That's probably
look. There's some really interesting stats. Let me just go through here because I actually made some really interesting observations. So the first stat about most consumed beer styles, hazy IPAs continue to grow and pale ales and XPAs have dropped a smidge. That's hazy New England IPAs has gone up 13%, where pale ale has dropped.
That echoes what I've seen.
Right? And so that just basically say this is something that's here to stay. It's here to stay. You know?
I mean, hazy will pass. And this is the thing about this survey is when I first started looking at it, I remember the big thing was cans versus bottles. Yes. And it was right when we were starting to put our beer in, like it was right when we were starting, and it was like, well, 100% cans. Like we weren't even thinking about bottles. We just couldn't afford a canning machine. But the beer cartel survey was still saying people prefer bottles. And it did so for 3 years or so.
Yes.
Even though we all knew like generally within our crew, like everyone preferred cans because
Yes.
there's that kind of lagging effect. So I think,
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
I drink way more hazies than pale ales. I think most
Yep.
people in our group probably do. So next year, I think will be the year where it passes it.
Yep. And here's another stat that I think is really interesting as well: the online purchase behavior. And so there's like a lot of people. 22% of the respondents are purchasing beer from a brewery's website. Right, it's the biggest. It's the biggest segment, right? So basically, the online purchase behavior says, are you purchasing beer online? And if so, where are you getting it from? The options were get it from a brewery website, get it from a beer specialty website, get it from mainstream liquor website, alcohol delivery apps, food delivery apps, and marketplaces.
Oh, that was a new question for this year. Okay, interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. And so, like, there's monthly 22% of the respondents are buying beer from a brewery website at least monthly.
Interesting.
Right. With 3% of the respondents saying they do it weekly or fortnightly. What an amazing way to connect. Like that, and that's the most. It's
Wait
like,
a second. So hang on.
So more people are buying beer at some point during the year directly from a brewery website than they are from, say, a beer specialty website.
This stat does not make sense in terms of packaging online purchasing behavior. So online purchasing craft beer has grown. Brewery websites. So marketplaces, which Beer Cartel is, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe they consider them mainstream.
Let me share my screen so I can.
No,
put
I'm
it
looking
up
at the same
for
thing.
YouTube,
I'm looking at the same
for the
thing.
YouTube. Well, share your screen so people watching on YouTube can see it.
Oh, okay. You share yours.
Otherwise, they're just looking at your face.
I'm awesome. Okay. You can share yours. I got 50
Right,
things.
let me fucking share then.
I did.
Oh, there we go. Okay, bring myself. Make sure that I'm on the screen.
You're there.
Okay,
so this is the weird thing to me. So Beer Cartel is a marketplace, right?
Yes.
So they're sending this email out to all of their customers, and only 1% of them are saying they buy from them monthly.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Mark that shit up. Whee!
That annotating. Oh, my pencil's a bit thick.
Yeah, but that bottom one that doesn't make any sense. Come on.
What do you mean?
Well, the majority of people who fill this in are customers of a marketplace, and it only says 1% of them buy from them.
Say that again. What's going on?
The marketplace is one, right? Beer Cartel is a marketplace. It says 1%.
Yes. No. You missed the point. So that's the green, or maybe the yellow is 1%.
Yeah.
What are marketplaces? Like fucking eBay or something?
Yeah, that actually might be. Maybe they're considered mainstream liquor websites. Or marketplaces like
no, that's like here, man. Mainstream liquor websites.
Is Beer Cartel mainstream liquor?
No, it's a beer specialty website.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Maybe we should reach out to them to ask what the definition is there. I reckon this is like Grays Online and fucking eBay and everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. But it's really, really interesting stuff, right? Where you've got like brewery websites. More people buy. I mean, you add those up, 16, 22, and 3, which is probably 54 percent is so 25 and 60, 35, 41%. 41% are buying beer from a brewery website at some point.
No. It's a very badly worded question. If you look at that orange one is less often.
No, yes, the orange is less often.
Less often.
That 22% is monthly or every few months. It's still interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting but what does less? This is a confusing question. Why is brewery website first when less often is? That's not a good stat, is it? Less often is. What was the question?
Well, what it's saying is basically cumulatively over the year, at least once, right? More people are buying beer from a brewery website than anywhere else.
But then they've added those same people into the chart that says less often.
Yes.
Sorry, the beer cartel guys are awesome, but this one's no good. I'm sorry.
You don't
This
understand.
chart makes no sense. You can't accumulate them like it makes it look like brewery website is winning.
Well, it is.
But it's not, but less often is a negative indicator, not a positive indicator.
Well, there's less often for brewery website, and there's more monthly every few months.
Well, in that case, yeah, if you had add, yeah, that's a coincidence, though. I mean,
and also,
what if there was more or less often?
There's
and it would
3% weekly fortnightly from brewery website as opposed to 2% from a beer specialty website.
Yeah, but mainstream was 5%, so 5% should be first on the ladder if you make it visually look like someone's winning.
I'm confused.
Well, who's winning this?
Brewery websites are winning, in my opinion.
No, they're not. Show the screen again. They're not winning. What would you rather? You would rather people buy from you less often, or would you rather people buy from you weekly?
Weekly, of course.
We'll show the chart again. Tell me who's winning.
It's right here.
I can see Bluetooth and other devices and a whole bunch of chat history and all kinds of weird.
Fuck's sake. Thanks.
All right. This tells you that mainstream liquor websites have more weekly buyers than breweries and beer specialty websites combined. But it visually doesn't look like that. It's just it's badly represented data.
Maybe the chart needs to be drawn a little bit better.
Very bad chart.
Do you know it would be better? A pie chart.
I mean, you can't include less often in this thing at all. It's because less often compares to what? Like it's a new question.
Yeah.
Make a pie chart. Make a pie chart that shows.
I'm drawing a pie chart. See?
Okay, that's good. Oh, that does not look like what? Okay.
All right, let me try another fucking pie chart. All right.
All right.
Pie. Look at that. I just drew a dead Pac-Man.
That's a Pac-Man going vertical.
All right, let me just change my fucking color. Hang on a second.
All right.
Look at that detached slice from the pie chart.
Good. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like next year. But I think this chart needs a bit of work. What else did you find? Sorry to just. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Well, this is. Okay. Serious question: is your chart better than the beer cartel chart?
When I drew a dick on it, absolutely. Yeah. And you can only find that on YouTube.
I forgot the audio. Yeah, you have to watch on YouTube. All right. What else did you find in there, Hendo?
What else we got here? Beer visitation. Okay. Beer visitation is down a lot. So down 12% on mainstream liquor stores, down 2% on craft breweries. That's pretty negligible. That mainstream liquor store reduction actually kind of reflects what's going on in the industry at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. I'm not going to talk about independence. Let's talk about independence. So this is interesting, right? So we can see here that it's about whether people buy or are aware of the independence seal from the IBA.
Yeah.
And so people are becoming more aware, up to 64% as opposed to 60% in 2020. 41% in 2019, 33% in 2018. So that awareness is growing, which is amazing considering that it doesn't get that logo, doesn't get out many places, gets out in Gabs and all that sort of stuff, but not as much as it could.
That's a very small increase though, 60 to 64. It's basically the same.
Yeah, but however, what the interesting stat here is that about the influences to whether someone chooses to buy the beer. So being aware of the logo has grown, but that's not the thing that puts money in the till of independent breweries. What puts money in the till of independent breweries is whether they actually go and put their hand in their pocket. And so And so basically, you've got large influence, medium influence, small influence, no influence, right? And so the interesting thing I take away from that is having the independent seal or no influence is decreasing. So people are that basically says that people are starting to be influenced by the independent seal. The fact that people, at least at medium influence, they try to buy a beer with the independent seal, that has gone up 2%. The number of people who have it has a big influence, large influence, only buy beer with this seal has also gone up by 2%. So there's actually something to be said about independence and whether it's important to consumers and that sort of thing. You're getting really dark in that room now.
I am. This is the problem. This is the problem with being
lights?
in the tea room.
Is there
I
lights?
do. I do. I'll turn them on. Hang on a second. It was only going to be good for a minute. Well, for starters, we're talking about 2%.
Yeah.
But do you think this is accurate?
What do you mean?
Do you think?
What do you mean by accurate?
Do you think in the last 2 years, more people are buying beers because the company is independent? Keeping in mind that in the last 2 years, Bolter and Stone and Wood have both sold out to multinationals, and they're selling and better beer have come on. I guess that's considered independent, but
Bolter
and Stone and Wood are selling more beer than ever.
In consideration of the people who've responded to this survey, clearly so.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's 2%, so it's basically the same. Yeah. You think it's a huge win?
I think it's trending in the right direction. I think that basically what that says to me is that if the independent seal was marketed more, that number would significantly rise. And that would put more money in the tills of independent brewers. Now, if you're smart and you put a little bit of 2 and 2 together, extrapolate, right? And this is not statistical advice.
Not statistical advice.
Is that if you think about the online sales, people buying direct from breweries, and you also think about the independence thing, what should a brewery do if they are thinking of opening and that sort of thing? Always have that direct to retail via your website being a thing.
Tuck the logo on there, maybe, if you think that influences people.
Independent, right? Independent. Actually, it'd be great to see a correlation of the people who buy online, whether they're buying independent beer online or mainstream beer online.
That would be good. I think the direct to consumer stuff would be high for independents, but general consumption, the vast majority of beer is consumed by people who are not buying directly online, I think.
Yeah. What else we got here? Australia's favourite brewery venue by state. Queensland, Black Ops 2.
Nice.
Did you see that one?
Did not.
Am I sharing my screen again?
Let's have a look at the full results. Yeah,
there you go. Have a look at that.
So what have we got? We've got Black Ops 2, Mountain Culture. That's cool. Queensland, ACT Capital. Oh, Capital. So have they beaten Bent before? Maybe. They got a pretty sick venue, don't they?
Yeah, there you are. Black Ops.
Nice. Big Shed, that's a win.
Big Shed is excellent. That's a great result.
Yeah.
Beer Farm in WA, I think that's new. Yeah, it's new. It says new. Oh no, it's not new.
New winner.
And Beaver Brewery. So there you go.
Click on full results and let's see what kind of votes we're working with. Okay, Queensland. Oh wait. Oh, didn't work. Did it work? Oh, here we go. Queensland. Oh, whoa! Jesus.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
I'm just going to circle this in a bright orange color.
Wow. Can you draw a dick on that one for me?
Okay, of course.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke. Oh, that's amazing.
So Queensland's top 3 craft brewery venues is Black Ops 2, followed by Black Ops HQ and Black Ops Brisbane.
Not bad.
Being the top 3. Wow, nice work, mate.
Yeah, this was one of the last things I worked on at Black Ops, so I'm grateful. But I'm more grateful for the people who filled it in and voted.
Yeah, that's the way. Dog Tap, Brewdog coming in 4th, Felons 5th, Slipstream, Bolter, Range. I thought Range.
Scroll down to the votes. Go down to the votes. Let's have a look. You see the number of votes, which is like, they don't normally show you
And
this
you got
kind of
10%
stuff.
of the vote.
That's insane.
Yeah, amazing.
Felons, dog tap. Wow.
Well done. Let's have a look at New South Wales. So Mountain Culture, Four Pines, Manly, Grifter, Murray, Source.
Interesting.
It's all right.
Have
Let's
you been
a
to
look
Source in Marrickville?
I have, yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
Oh, Victoria. There we go. Bridge Road.
Bridge Roads, Dayton.
Oh, by
Brewery.
2 votes. Beat
What?
Dayton by 2 votes.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's close.
Moondog. Okay, Moondog probably definitely should have won. Stomping Ground should have also won.
Moondog World or Moondog
Rodriguez
in.
should have also won.
They're all good.
They're all good. I've never been to Bridge Roads. I'm sure they probably should have won too. Hobart Brewing
Tasmania.
is awesome. That's a deserved win.
I've never been to Tasmania.
Hobart Brewing is sick. Fox Friday's cool, but I don't think they actually brew beer there. So I'm on a bit of a rampage against places who don't brew beer. So
look at this bloody Big Shed crushed it.
Crushed it. Pirate Life Port Adelaide's pretty sick too.
Little Bang, Barossa, Kickback. That's old Brenton. He's such a fucking legend.
The Wheatie.
I love his beers.
30 votes.
Well done. Well done. Western Australia, Beer Farm, Wild Hop, Gage Road,
Wild
Blaster.
Hop is so cool.
Where is it?
It's down like past Busso. We drove down there. It was like it's like a river running through the joint. It's fucking awesome. We didn't get to Beer Farm. Gage Road.
You want to talk about this for a second whilst I excuse myself for a second?
Sure. Yeah. Beer Farm have not been there, but I wanted to when we went down there. Wild Hop we went to, and it was fucking awesome. Gage Roads is also awesome. Frio, that probably should have won because it's just epic. Let's have a look at the votes. 82. Oh, wow. Beer Farm just crushed it. I really should have gone to Beer Farm. Blaster's awesome. Also didn't go there because it was closed. Rocky Ridge is awesome. I wonder what this is. This is Craft Brewery Venice. That's their tap room in Busso. Yeah, that place is sick. That should have won as well. 40 votes. Yeah, okay. Boston Brewing Co. That definitely have not been there. Cheeky Monkey was closed, so I couldn't go there. Colonial didn't make it there. Little Creatures. That was a bit disappointing, but it was historically the best one. I can't control this screen, so I can't really see what's going on. I could pause it. I probably should, actually. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to piss as well. Sorry, I just realized I couldn't control your screen, and then so I went to the toilet as well.
And that's all right.
And I got run over.
I wonder what people are going to think when they listen to this, and it's just like all of a sudden we stop, and then it's like we both sound more relaxed because we didn't have to. Our eyeballs weren't swimming.
No, I specifically said I need to piss now. So I think they'll know what was going on.
Good. Oh, look at this. The age demographic is and gender demographic is amazing.
Do they show this year on year?
82% male. Actually, I don't know. There's no link to click.
82% male.
2% male, 18% female. Average age 43 years. So mostly 30 to 49 and 50 plus. People, this has been going for ages. Where 18 to 29s just don't get craft beer. Really,
no.
They got to go through the vodka cruiser age.
A lot of them don't drink anymore.
I know, it's just pingers.
Pretty much. Yeah. You pouring yourself a beer there, mate, or what's happening?
Yeah, I've got I do have a beer. Oh, that's a very delicious looking beer. I have I'm going to stop my screen share because I've got no idea what's going on. This is the Newstead, the new packaging, Two to the Valley, Newstead nice. IPA. Great packaging. I love this new logo and labels.
We were going to get him on the show, weren't we? Oh, no, not Newstead. I mean, Working Time.
No.
Not the same thing.
That's not Newstead.
Check this out. I just went to the toilet and I got run over by an electric vacuum cleaner.
It's a very quiet vacuum cleaner.
Now it's trying to figure out how to get back to its house. It's going to run over my fucking leg again.
What is that?
Look at it. It's going to run me over again. Ah!
Yep. What is it?
I don't know.
What sort of vacuum cleaner is it?
A dilly-do.
A what?
Dilly-do.
Dilly-do.
I don't know why it's called that.
I'll have to look this shit up.
Maybe just Aaron just gave it that name. I'm actually not sure.
Dilly Do vacuum cleaner.
Is it called Dilly Do, or do you just call it that?
It's not.
No, I don't
It's not
know.
called that.
I don't think it's called that either.
Like literally, it's gone under your fucking feet, and you can't see that it's got a brand on it.
No, it's a Xiaomi My something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do it on the app. You like set the area of the house and press it, and it just goes and cleans it. It's the best thing that's ever been invented.
Yeah, I've got the Kogan one. It's okay, but should upgrade it.
There's one coming to Aldi this week for $400 that mops as well.
Mine mops.
This does as well, but apparently it does a really shit job, so we've never used it.
Mm.
If you're listening to this and you don't have an auto vac,
a robot vacuum cleaner, you got to have a robot vacuum cleaner.
Drop everything and go and get one.
Yeah, go get one.
100%.
It's a game changer for your lifestyle.
Change your life. All right, done with the survey.
Yeah.
Australia's favourite craft beer news website, Crafty Pint, Brews News, Beer and Brewer.
Yep.
Top three. Only three, first, second, and third in that category. I guess there's not that many, is there? There's only a few. Podcast. Yeah. And a lot of sponsors.
Well done. Good result. And shout out to Richard and Jeff from Beer Cartel for putting that together. That's probably a lot of work, and
it's definitely a lot of work.
Awesome job.
Yeah, I hope they keep doing it. I've been following it for a long time. I really hope they keep doing it.
Yeah.
All right. Next item. Source sale. Oh, well, fuck. What do you want to get into? We got a lot on here, mate. We're almost an hour in.
What do you mean source sale?
Well, we got did you see the thing in the Far North Queensland group where we're kind of...
Well, only what you sent me. I'm not really in it.
No. It's for sale.
Is it? The sauce in cans?
Yeah.
It's for sale.
It's for sale.
Well, someone should buy it. Is it a bar or is it a brewery? I've never been there.
I'm not sure. Well, they've never brewed there because we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's a bottle shop as you walk in, because I was in Cairns a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
So I went there. The bottle shop as you walk in, which is like an unattended bottle shop, which with not much stuff in it, which I think is
is it like the honor system?
I don't know. It was weird. We walked in there. I'm like, we just wanted wine. And then we Googled it and it came up first. And we're like, oh, let's go to here. Outsource or whatever. Yeah. There's no one there. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So I grabbed the wine. We walked into the bar. I was like, do we pay anyone for this? And then there's a guy behind the bar who kind of didn't say anything. So we sat there for a while. And I was looking around. I'm going, they got tanks here. This is fucking Source. I didn't even actually realize it was Source Brewing.
Yeah, right.
And
that's a weird experience. Did you end up paying for the wine or did you steal it?
No, I did. Eventually he served the customer and then he's going, yeah, we'll pay for it. So we walked all the way back to the bottle shop and then paid for the wine. And then
so no staff in the bottle shop.
No staff. And not really many products either, like kind of half filled. It was a little strange. But he put a thing, I think I sent this to you, he put a thing in the Far North Queensland craft beer group, kind of apologising for the service and saying, you know, we're doing our best, which I fucking fully understand. But it was in relation to, they are trying to sell the business, but I think more the story was he wants to sell his partner's share in the business and it specifically mentioned Mighty Craft saying like, we didn't get what we wanted from Mighty Craft. So
is that the partner?
No, I don't think so. But I think I think there was a couple of them in there.
Well, Mighty Craft is involved in
Mighty Craft, yeah, is a shareholder. And it specifically said in the post that they didn't get the results they wanted from Mighty Craft. So they're looking for a new partner that can take on the kind of sales aspect and everything else. So
isn't that a familiar story?
Well, that's why I put it in here. I thought you might have a field day with it. That's all.
Isn't that a familiar story? I've read. I'm not in that group. So what do you got there?
Hop Mantra from Bacchus I got the other day.
Oh, Bacchus got a trophy.
Yes, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I missed that.
For critical damage.
Oh, nice. What sort of beer is that? What was the trophy?
No idea. I've no idea what Ross does with beer.
Let's have a look for that. Bacchus. So you got any thoughts on Source and Mighty Craft?
Oh, let's just say it sounds like a very fucking a very well-worn path, shall we say.
Champion hybrid beer. There you go. Bacchus. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm going to sneeze because I think I'm getting COVID.
Again,
Jesus.
you don't sneeze when you get COVID. You probably got like hay fever.
I've got something.
Cooties.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so another example of what we predicted.
Let's see how that pans out. We'll keep an eye on that, no doubt.
The Source thing though. So they're selling the brewery for $1.5 million or whatever it was.
Mm.
It's never operated as a brewery. It's a fucking huge venue. It's very weird. And I know if they listen to this, I'm not being a hater because it was just weird. And Cairns is a different place than where I'm from. So everything about Cairns was a little bit weird.
Dude, you live on the Gold Coast, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I grew up in Brisbane, not that weird. Gold Coast, a little bit weird. Cairns is like next level weird.
Mm.
But it's a massive open brewery with there's no roof. It's like in a shopping center, and you can kind of see like the stairs. It's like when you go to the dentist, and the dentist is like up on level 3, but it's all open, and you walk around.
Mm.
That's what it's like, and it's huge. And it's this right next to that Coral Sea Brewing place.
Right.
Like literally right next to it. Like you sit in.
Yeah, I know the place. It's like a mall. It's like a little mall sort of thing.
It's a mall, and you sit there. Mm. So they've opened a brewery right next, and you look out, and you can see the next brewery, the only other brewery through the glass.
Mm.
Very fucking strange. You know what was cool about Cairns though?
What's that?
Hemingway's.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, that place is fucking cool.
It's huge, isn't it? How are the beers?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not like they didn't blow my mind, but
they very much like Hemingway's has always done beers that are just pretty straight down the line. Very styles of beer that are very sort of like Felons in Brisbane.
It was Felons. It was the Felons.
They just do straight up just drinking beers. Don't
100%.
Expect to go there and get your oat cream pale ale or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was literally it was Felons in Cairns.
Yeah, great. Was there many people there?
There was a few.
Did you eat there?
Didn't eat there, but we ate just around the corner. And then the next day we went to Port Douglas and went to lunch in Port Douglas.
In Port Douglas?
Fucking Hemingway's right there as well.
That's right. It's right on the in the marina there. It's beautiful.
So cool. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. But the venue in Cairns is honestly one of the best craft beer venues I've been to. Like you wouldn't get a better view than that, sitting on the mouth of the Harbory River thing there, looking out over the mountains, right on the thing, massive shed. It's fucking cool.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, bloody brilliant, man.
And like Felons, they didn't blow my socks off with the beers, but I don't go to Felons expecting some crazy big oat dipper. I just want to sit there and drink beer and look at the
drink beer. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I saw Tom and Link from Felons this week, and Mason as well, and at the judging. And I just realised that, I've lived over here in a part of Brisbane that I live, and it's not 5 minutes walk away from Felons anymore. And I I love Felons Crisp. And I haven't been over there in ages. And then realised that I can get the ferry direct from the end of my street over to Felons.
Does it take you 4 hours like it did when we did the first Boston the Brewer? Only Boston the Brewer meetup?
Before, so it's only 3.5.
Okay. Let's look at their results here on the Beer Awards. Bronze, Natural Ale, Bronze, Natural Ale. Bronzy Poo. Oh, silver for Champagne Sour Ale. There you go. Bronze.
Felons have some really interesting stuff coming up
for the
over the next
IPA, not
couple
bad.
of months.
What's
so
happening?
They're starting to, how in the barrel hall, right? You've been to the barrel hall?
That barrel hall's a scam, dude.
What do you mean?
I went in there and I was like, okay, there's a barrel hall. And I was sick. And I went in there probably, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Right.
There's all these barrels that are all painted different colors, though they definitely don't have beer in them because you wouldn't paint a barrel. Very bad idea. You wouldn't paint, you can spray paint a barrel.
Well, to identify what the contents are, of course you
No,
would.
no, no. It's like visually like a mural all over these barrels. It's like it's porous material. You wouldn't spray paint that. It would get into the beer.
Well, the paint's not going to get in contact with the beer. Anyway, go on. What's your
It
fucking
probably
story?
is. Anyway, and the point is, that when I saw that, I was like a little bit skeptical, and then I went up to the bar and like looked at all of the taps. There was one single barrel aged beer, which is the barrel aged
Yes.
Pilsner. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll have that. That'd be good. And I was like, can I have that barrel aged Pilsner, please? And he's like, sorry, we don't have any of that.
Well, funnily
Come on,
enough,
dude.
Dan, I was told that they're starting to bring those barrels out into fruition over the next few months.
Well, that would be good. But if you get a barrel hall that you're marketing as a barrel hall and you don't have a single beer that you can buy that's barrel aged,
Dude, it takes like some time. They're slow beers. They take time to they need to mature in the barrel.
well, just be honest about it then. Don't have a barrels everywhere on a decal that says barrel aged beers and not even have a single barrel aged beer.
It's not like a.
It could have been bad time. Huh?
You're missing the point. Like the barrel hall has the barrel beers haven't been in barrel that long, and now they're starting to get to the point where they're ready to come out. And now it's sort of going to get that momentum where the barrel aged beers start to come out.
All those beers in there in the barrels that are all spray painted and shit, they're all full of beer.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
It's not for show.
Do you think it's a good idea to put a mural on a porous material that has liquid inside it? Surely that's not a good idea.
I haven't seen them since they were painted, but I'd be happy to give an assessment when I go there for a tasty Felon's Crisp.
Okay. I'm willing to be wrong, but I went into a barrel hall and ordered barrel aged beer.
We have to do things, because we're brewers, we're like food manufacturers, right? So they're not going to do anything that's going to like contaminate the beer with like
I don't think it was
paint or anything like that.
I don't think it was beer in there. I think it was
probably
just
water. It's probably water-based paint, and it may well be. Was the paint directly on the wood, or was there a cover?
Yes,
over
I don't think there was beer in the barrels. I think it was just for show. Am I wrong?
No, there's beer in the barrels.
Is there?
100%.
Okay. Well, then I stand corrected.
Well, you need to go there over the next few months, and because they're going to start bringing them out, and yeah, haters going to hate.
Okay, I'm not hating. I'm just that was my experience. I'm just saying. I went to a barrel hall and ordered the barrel aged beer, which they'd run out of. And
all right, hit me with the financial use.
Oh, God. Fuck, there's a lot to. One thing we didn't discuss is the smart sensory thing. We meant to come back to that. Did you want to talk about that or no?
What do you mean?
Your smart sensory app launch thingy.
Oh, yeah. So, if you're a brewery who is considering starting a sensory program, or you think it might be too hard to start a sensory program, myself and PK from the Fifth Ingredient have launched a product called Smart Sensory, and it covers all the things you need to do to become skilled up in beer sensory, but in the context of beer production. So, you can get skilled up in sensory in the context of beer service and beer and food pairing, which is great. Or you can get skilled up in sensory in the context of beer judging and styles and all sorts of stuff, also great. But this is sensory in the context of beer quality and beer production and beer consistency, and that sort of thing. And super stoked. You can head to smartsensory.beer. If you would like to learn more, there is a webinar that you can go and watch, like a 60-minute video that explains what Smart Sensory is. Really looking forward to what's coming up with that in the future. This is something that I have worked on for about 4-ish years just to get it to the point where it is now. And yeah, I'm excited.
So how's it going? Is it launched?
Yeah, so basically in the second half of last year, we did a private beta where we tested out a few parts of Smart Sensory, and we tweaked it and refined it. We continue to tweak it and refine it. One of the clients that we had on board in the private beta was Kaiju Beer down in Melbourne, and Cal from Kaiju has said some really awesome things about Smart Sensory, which you can find out at smartsensory.beer. And I'm pretty keen on where this is going to go. My motivation for this is to sort of make sensory accessible.
I thought you were going to say make sensory great again, but
No, just make it accessible,
okay.
right? Is that everybody who works in a brewery, and not just brewers, but people who work in the office and all that sort of stuff, if you're making a product, right, you should be able to evaluate that product, right? It doesn't matter if you make yogurt or toothpaste or orange juice or whatever and that sort of thing. In some sense, you should be able to contribute to your, whether this product that you're making is of a good standard or not. And I think that up until now, it has been very difficult to start a sensory program in the brewery because there's no standardized way to do it. And so what we've done is we've created a standardized way for a brewery to start its sensory program.
So how is it different to the Beer 30 sensory sort of features?
Well, so this is why PK and I sort of decided to start it, right? Because this is also why it doesn't fall under Rockstar, because it is Smart Sensory is a training product, but it's also an app, right? Now, Beer 30's got a great sensory module in it, but what's kind of missing from that is it's geared toward breweries that already have a sensory program and they've developed their own SOPs and they know what data to collect and all that sort of stuff. And Beer 30 does that great, right? But what Smart Sensory does is that if you've never had a sensory program before and you want to learn, and you don't know, like when someone at a brewery goes, "Hey, we should start a sensory program,"
right?
And then the next question is, well, what do we want it to do? Right. And so people usually think that starting a sensory program in a brewery is, do we sit around all day and put flavor tanks in beers and smell them and see if we can spot, off flavors in beer? Or do we assess a beer in the context of a style guideline? Or do we do duo, trio testing and all that sort of stuff? Some of those things are kind of important, but none of them actually contribute to beer quality. And so what Smart Sensory does is it gives a framework on how to set up the right sensory methods and the standard operating procedures around it to be able to make sure that your beer is what the head brewer says it's going to be.
So true to brand.
Right? True to brand is part of it, right? But then in order to do that, you have to teach your panelists how to evaluate beer. So that's what we also do. And
that's videos or is it like live?
It's a bit of both.
Yeah,
it's a bit of both. And so panelists we also train the program manager to train the panelists.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a bit of train the trainer, it's a bit of direct training online and that sort of thing. And people learn how to evaluate beer. And what happens, right, is in what Pal from Kaiju said was that once we started to train our panelists, they started to spot variances, not faults. They're not looking for faults. They're just spotting variances in their beer, and they can track and they can address these things before the beer leaves the brewery. Right.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they start their beer consistency gets better. And if you have better consistency in your beer, consumers become more bonded with it, and they buy it more frequently, and you sell more beer. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at.
Nice. So what do people do if it's not an ad? This is not sensory advice.
No, it's not an ad. It's something
advice.
that we're still sort of we will continue to evolve it and that sort of thing.
What content do you offer on the webinar thing that you do?
Sorry, what was that
you do like a webinar for it?
Yeah, so basically what we do is there's a whole bunch of video content. If you're going to be the sensory program manager or you're going to be the panelist, then there's a bunch of video content that you can watch to learn and set up your sensory program or learn to be a panelist. And then we also do regular live coaching calls with our program managers. So if you start a sensory program, there's going to be a point where you're going to get stuck, right? And we help get you unstuck.
Yeah.
And we also have a private community where breweries can help each other, and we're all following the same standard operating procedures. It's amazing. But that's it.
Nice. I've actually got an idea I want to run by you. I won't do it on this podcast, but let's chat.
Okay.
Because I've got a little bit of an idea that I think you'd be interested in.
Okay. Yeah.
Won't do it now. It's not a pitch fest for our fucking ideas, but
yeah, that's right.
Go to smartsensory.beer for Smart Sensory.
Smartsensory.beer.
All right. Do you want to? So we've got the last of it is a bunch of financial results.
Yes.
Including Good Drinks, Mighty Craft, Ballistic, and Tribe voluntary administrations. Or we've got the Facebook group thread, which is probably full of shit post questions.
Yep. I reckon we just do the.
Fancy?
I think we just cover the. I think we should cover the VA stuff, educate people. Yeah. And then we'll just go straight to the shit posting.
I got a message during the week from a guy who apparently specializes in VAs, and he said he's keen to come on the pod.
Fuck yeah.
You think that'd be good?
Bloody oath.
Okay. All right. I said I'd run it by you. I'll message him back.
I think that's a great idea, because I'd love to learn more about the process without talking about the specifics that are happening with these the businesses, that are affected by this at the moment. Geez, it'd be great to learn more about it. I'd love to learn more about it, because it's because I think the thing that I found at this point in time is that is that given what happened this week, even the people who were directly involved in the process, who were at the creditors meeting, didn't really know what was happening.
Yeah. Because it's all behind the scenes shit, you mean?
No, it's a fugazi. They were there,
right?
And so so the ballistic thing was a really interesting one. Was like it was on the morning before the Queensland Beer Awards, and then all those people who were affected staff and that sort of thing, who were creditors, who were able to go to the meeting, showed up and said that it had been voted down and it's liquidation.
Oh,
but that's not what happened.
No,
it was an adjournment.
Wow.
And I found that really weird that those people who were there and really intelligent people, good friends of mine that are really intelligent, were literally sitting in the room and didn't understand what the hell was going on.
I'm not surprised. I read the document. So that document that you sent me, that's not like a secret thing. It's just like public information, right?
You can download it from the ASIC website.
Right, but you have to pay for it.
You got to pay for it.
So the 12 can't get it. Did you? Should we summarize it, or is this like a bit too?
Oh, so I think it's best to talk about the process rather than and just touch on the specifics with ballistic. So basically, with and this is from an educational point of view, from two dickheads. And so basically what happened is that go into voluntary administration, it's a chance to restructure your balance sheet and your debts, and people are going to lose money from it and that sort of thing. And so what happens is you have an initial creditors meeting where those who believe they're owed money from the entity rock up and say, they owe me money, right? And they register their debt. And then the administrator does their analysis and listens to people who want to help get the company out of its administration, come up with a plan. And the plan is called a DOCA, and that stands for Deed of Company Arrangement, right? Which basically says, this is what's going to happen to get this business out of voluntary administration so that it can either... So the options is that the DOCA gets accepted by the creditors and the business comes out of administration. The business can go into liquidation and all the assets get sold, and whoever gets owed money gets whatever portion of what they're owed and that sort of thing, or they can vote to adjourn and come up with an alternative arrangement and that sort of thing.
Right, but to really simplify it, like when you say creditors, the plan is basically to not pay people that they owe money to in return for an agreement to keep the business alive.
Yes. Well, it's not always that way, right? And so if you take the easy times, DOCA,
restructuring the balance sheet.
It was restructuring the balance sheet, right. and 100% of the creditors, all of the creditors, the people that were owed money from Easy Times, they got everything, right?
Really?
And that's yeah,
Oh,
all the creditors did.
is that? Are you sure?
But yes, with trade creditors, 100%, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
However, there were shareholders and people who had lent money to Easy Times. That may be a different story.
Right.
Not going to.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on it.
Right. Okay.
But as far as trade creditors go, like where you buy your raw materials and your tins and all that sort of stuff, everyone got paid.
Oh, well, I mean, that's
and,
good.
and well, yeah, exactly.
But that's not the case here.
But it's not the case here, and so basically, what had happened with Ballistic is that a deed of company arrangement was proposed to the administrator. Now, the administrator's job is to act in the interests of the creditors.
Yeah.
Right. That's his job.
Interesting.
Right?
Not the shareholder.
No. No.
Once a company goes into VA, that they're no longer acting in the interest of the shareholders. They're handing over the reins to an administrator who is acting in the interests of the creditors.
Correct.
Yeah, and
that's the risk that you take when you invest in a business.
Yes,
is that you can lose your equity. It's everything's at risk, and so with this particular DOCA that was proposed, the directors of the company proposed a certain amount of money to recapitalize the business, put some cash in the business.
And this is coming from the catchment guy who used to be the boss of Brew.
Well, that's the version. Well, yeah, because in this particular case, it appears that way.
So Brew's taking over Ballistic.
No, Dan.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to help understand what's going on.
I'd prefer not to talk about particular entities that are involved in it because I think it's irrelevant, right?
It's interesting though, isn't it?
The players in the DOCA are interesting, but I don't think that it adds any value to the conversation about educating people about the process of administration.
Okay.
Right? And most importantly as well, is also and as I've said in episode a few weeks ago, my first concern is with the staff.
But did you see the line in there about the staff entitlements? Because that's.
What about it?
You didn't see that? Because unless I skimmed the thing because it's a long document and I can barely read because I'm a dickhead, like you said many times. Mm-hmm. But one of them was like staff entitlements, and I think it was like way less than they were actually owed.
Yes. So, but the thing is, right, is you got to put it into context. Okay. So if the deed of company arrangement gets voted for, then those staff that have not been laid off go back to work.
No, but it said $1.2 million savings in annual wages. So like,
that's the plan for it and that sort of thing, right?
I mean, that's
there's
a lot.
savings in wages.
That's a lot of people not going back to work.
True. There's savings in wages and there's savings in entitlements. So let's say that all of the staff get fired. Well, everyone has to get paid redundancy pay,
right?
And that's more expensive. Whereas if you take them back and put them back to work, well, you don't have to pay them redundancy pay, and that's cheaper overall.
But who are the people?
But on a cash flow basis, on a month-to-month basis, on how much cash is going out the door as a result of wages, of course, you may need to rationalize staff to make the business more.
No, 100%. But why is there a line in there saying that there's entitlements that are only going to get half of what they're owed? So is that
no? If those people, right, aren't terminated, then they don't get redundancy pay. And that's why it's cheaper to take them back on.
So everyone is terminated is getting paid in full?
No one's been, well, at this point in time, my understanding is that some staff have been terminated and some staff have been stood down and yet to be terminated. Or not terminated. Like that.
But right. Your understanding, we're getting into technical details we probably shouldn't talk about because we fucking got it wrong before.
We're 2 dickheads.
Okay. Right. Let's move on.
So anyway, so what happened is that they had the second creditors meeting on Wednesday morning, and the creditors voted to adjourn, right? Which basically said they weren't happy with that DOCA, but they weren't prepared to put the business into liquidation. So they put it back to the people who made that proposal and said, come up with a better plan.
Do better. And the fundamental thing is that they owe multiple millions of dollars to people, and I don't want to fuck this stat up, but was it something like 10 cents on the dollar that they would have to pay to clear it?
All right. So again, here's how. So in Australian company law, right? When a business goes into liquidation or administration, there are tiers of people and the order in which they get paid. Okay?
Yeah.
So in liquidation or administration, the liquidator or administrator always gets paid first. Always. Okay. That's it. They have to be. And in fact, if
bill was like 80 grand, it's written in that document. 80 grand in a couple of weeks.
That's less than half of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. And so, when my business went into liquidation, that company that did the liquidation, I think they made something. It was not a big company, but they still made 60 grand. And the thing is in Australia is that if there's not enough money in the business and the liquidator steps in, there's a government insurance scheme that makes sure that they get paid. So that there's an orderly liquidation of businesses and stuff like that.
I mean, that's fair. It's an important job to do. Yeah.
Fucking oath. Absolutely. Because you can't let it be the fucking Wild West, because it's just going to be crazy,
But the other thing is you can't, sorry, I'm sure you're probably getting to this, but the ATO is obviously a big one of these creditors because.
Correct. So the top tier is the administrator, liquidator, whatever it is, right? The second tier is the staff and staff entitlements, right? And then the third tier is the unsecured creditors, right? And then you've got secured creditors and all that sort of stuff, right? And so the way that it works, right, is that if you have this, let's say you have, $10 million owing, and there's only $5 million in cash left over after liquidation, right? The administrator gets paid first, 100%, and that deducts from that $5 million. Then the staff and staff entitlements get paid,
right,
100%. Then we go to the next tier, and let's say you get to the third tier and you've only got, say, $3 million left, but there's still $7 million owing, right? Well, that means that they're only going to get 40, 50 cents in the dollar. Right? So they don't get all the money that they're owed. Right? However, the staff have been paid 100%. And so the thing that I'm very confident about in relation to the staff is no matter which way that this plays out, and indeed that this is, unless the businesses that are currently in VA are completely strapped of assets, which neither of them are, then I feel comfortable that knowing that the staff are going to get everything that's owed to them within the extent of the law.
Well, that's good.
Yes,
that's good. But the other point that we talked about earlier today is if the ATO is a big creditor in a business like this, it wouldn't make sense for them to just be like, yeah, it's totally fine, we'll take 10 cents in the dollar, because what kind of message does that send?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so basically, in this particular situation, the ATO is a big creditor, and in the initial deed of company arrangement that was proposed, that those creditors, including the ATO, would only get like 7 cents in the dollar or something like that. And you can't really, do that to the ATO. They're just not going to really stand for it. So I suppose, what's going to go down with it is, when you owe the ATO in your brewing business, some of it's going to be excise, some of it's going to be PAYG, some of it's going to be other stuff. And I don't know what it is with Ballistic. But most certainly, when they have the vote as to whether the DOCA gets agreed to, or they adjourn the meeting, or they liquidate the company, the more money you're owed, the more votes you get.
Right, that makes sense.
Right, and so And so at this point in time, the ATO look like they have the most votes.
How does this work? Like some person from the ATO rocks up and is like,
Shit
no.
check. Mate, they'd have a whole department dedicated to this shit.
But
It
wouldn't you,
happen every day.
just thinking about this logically, right? You're the, and fucking, I know nothing about this. And I mean, you know a lot more than I do, but I know nothing about it. We'll get
Not
Angus
that
on.
much more than you.
I just messaged him and he's keen to come on and educate us.
Sick.
But if you're the ATO, right, you make money from people buying alcohol. That's not changing too much. They're going to buy it either way. There's one company who's a very public example of someone going into VA.
Yes.
It would just make no sense to be like, oh, no, everything's fine. We'll take 10 cents of the dollar.
Yes. That's
the message to everyone else.
That's certainly not going to happen. And,
it wouldn't make sense. I mean, they'll be better off just saying, okay, we'll take the $2 million loss on this or whatever it is.
Yes.
And we'll just get that money back from someone else. Like people are still going to buy beer. They'll just buy it from someone else. And we'll still get the excise. Yeah,
exactly. Like, had this conversation with someone involved in the situation the other day. Is basically there's no way that the ATO are going to allow a business to go into voluntary administration to shirk their responsibilities for excise or PAYG and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it
sends the wrong message.
100%.
And that you can't do it. You can't dodge the tax man that way. It's not just the fact that it's excise. There's a lot of other taxes that businesses have to pay. And the ATO absolutely will not allow a brewing business to shirk its responsibilities of what is payable to the people of Australia, you and I, just by going into VA. Otherwise, businesses would do it all the time.
Yeah, and I'm actually interested. I mean, I want Ballistic to come out of this, but I want them to come out of it with some semblance of what the team was and what the founding structure was. I mean, if they come out of it, guys just come and
I hope so. It's unlikely, but I hope so. And the way that the DOCA stands at the moment, with creditors, like the ATO and all of the suppliers that supply the malt and the hops and the cans and all sorts of stuff, getting 10 cents in the dollar. Let's say that gets up. It's going to be very difficult to do business afterwards.
100%. I mean,
on that basis, because the thing is, when you run a brewing business, part of the partnership you have with your suppliers is they give you interest-free loans, and that's exactly what it is. Yeah. When I buy malt, I buy it on end of month plus 14-day terms or whatever it happens to be. Right, it varies from supplier to supplier, and so if I order. Right, like we're on the 3rd of March right now. So if I order some malt or some hops or something like that, I don't have to pay that bill until the 14th or 15th of the month, next month. Right, so I get 6 weeks interest free. Right, and when you're making beer, you're in the FMCG business, fast moving consumer goods. You make it, you sell it, you get paid, cash goes back in your bank account, you make it again. Right? Sorry to take the fucking romance out of it, but that's the fucking reality of it.
No, right? You told me this before we started Black Ops.
And
same message.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing's changed because it's still FMCG business. And so that interest-free money, like if you put that money on a credit card at 20% interest, you're going to get a bit of interest, and it's going to take a little bit of the wind out of your sails and that sort of thing. But having that interest-free loan, which is effectively what's being granted to you, is a very valuable part of your business. Because don't forget, on the sales side, if you so basically you buy the raw materials to make the beer on, say, end of month plus 15-day terms or whatever it is, and then when you sell the beer to a pub or a restaurant on, say, 14-day terms. That's the money that you don't get paid. Well, that's got to balance out. And in that time between when you make the beer and you sell the beer and you actually get paid, you got to pay those bills, and shit gets really tight, you know.
Yeah.
The money coming in versus the money coming out, and cash is king. That's what my father told me when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I wanted to start my first business. He said cash is king, and I didn't understand as a teenager what the fuck the old man was talking about. And Jesus, I understand it now.
Yeah. I think it was, it might not be Peter Drucker, but it was one of those guys who said business owner's number one job is to not run out of money. And
exactly.
that's,
you can have the funny thing, you know, that happened with Brewcold is that it was actually owed a lot of money, right? But but Brewcold itself had a lot of people that it owed money to, and it didn't work out in a timely manner, and it just and that's what made it fall over, right?
Yeah.
And so profitability and cash flow are two very, very different things.
Yeah.
You can be super profitable, but if you're not cash flow positive, or if you're not maintaining the cash flow positive, cash flow neutral, whatever it is, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
You're fucked unless you can raise money, because if you're...
Yeah, you need cash.
You need cash.
Because the thing is, right, is
by
that
raising money because you're growing or because...
And I could create the world's most fucking profitable fucking brewery tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I ring up, you know, the usual suppliers and say, send me malt, but don't send me the bill, or make sure I don't have to pay, and sell all this beer dirt cheap, and the P&L looks good and all that sort of stuff. But if I'm not paying them, they've got a business to run, you know, and they have to get paid because they've got bills to pay. And that's the concept of cash flow. It just sounds really like we're telling people to suck eggs, but
that's true.
But it's on a bigger scale, and people are just like, you know, if you're just a general craft beer fan, like you got to think about literal money that flows as a result of that can of beer or glass of beer that's in your hand. You know?
Yeah. No,
and it's phenomenal. And the tough thing is, right, is that so it's one thing to make a profit margin, right? But then it's another thing to get paid in a timely manner. And so if you sell your beer into the majors, you are easily looking at 60, 90, 120-day terms.
Oh, no, I don't
so
know.
It depends on the relationship that you've got, right? Yeah. And so, but the challenge is that if you go into the majors, like I speak to lots of people who go, oh, I want to start a brewery and go into BWS. It's like, yeah, man. So they're going to buy a shitload of piss that's going to cost you a shitload of money to make, and they're not going to pay you for a very, very long time. And then when they run out, they're going to want more, and you've got no money to make beer.
You know? And then when they don't sell it, they're going to ship it back to you.
They're going to send it back to you. Exactly.
It's a tough gig. It's a tough game.
It's an extremely tough gig. Extremely tough gig.
One
so
thing.
I think that what we should do is I'm keen to chat to your mate who's in this. And maybe,
well, I will say I get lots of messages on social media, and they're not all my mates. So it was a random message, but he seems to know what he's talking about.
That would be an excellent conversation, and would do a much better job than I would or you would. Mostly me.
You're doing a good job. I'm going to get one beer before we do the questions, okay? Otherwise,
can I wee as well?
I got to wee as well. I wasn't going to say it.
Can you pause it?
I'm pausing. Can I say one more thing about the ballistic thing before we move on?
Sure.
With the DOCA thing, and it like listed all of the things that these like strategic plans that they were going to implement. I just want to say this now in case we look back at this in 1 year's time and decide like what the best thing would have been at the time. It strikes me that a lot of the ideas in that list are all things that the previous directors would have thought of. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, get a venue manager who believes they can grow the venue, and
get a sales manager,
get a salesperson,
rationalize costs, all that sort of stuff.
Do you think this guy who's been running the business for 7 years or however long it's been has not thought of doing this? Like, time will tell whether this like so-called experienced group is coming in and taking over this business can pull that off. I hope they can, but at the same time, I mean, do you think they haven't thought of that? Do you think they don't hire venue managers who think they can grow the venue?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes it's a strategic decision, you know. I mean, like, you know, Ballistic's made some strategic decisions up until now that they thought was in the best interest of the business, like, you know, having Springfield, having Bargara, having Early Beach, and all that sort of stuff. Were they good? Were they good ideas? I don't know, but
Well, I mean,
you know,
in hindsight,
the new investors
they
are sort
probably
of
weren't.
looking.
In hindsight, they probably weren't good ideas, but
In hindsight, exactly.
the environment
so,
in which they were made, they probably were.
Well, sometimes you get a fresh face in, and
yeah, no, that's true.
You never know. That's the interesting thing, and that's the thing that that's the risk that you take if you come in and invest in a business that's gone into voluntary administration. You got to look at it and go, what can I do to this business to create value?
Right.
Right.
But also,
And
what value are they losing?
Gamble, because if you pull it off, you're going to make bank.
Are they? I mean, they're going to get good value because they're obviously buying it.
No, I'm talking in general about, you know, VA. You know, if you other types of business, right? If you take that, I'm not talking about the specifics of Ballistic, but if you look at a business and you see it's in administration, you have a look at the fundamentals, you go, fuck, I think I can make a fucking go of this. And you go in there and you do the thing and it turns out being successful, you can make a lot of money, right?
Right.
You know, whether that's the case for Ballistic remains to be seen. And but yeah, but you know, like one thing that I was sort of thinking about whilst I was peeing was that the thing that you know, having seen quite a lot of the Ballistic staff this week and that sort of thing, and knowing more about what's happening now, I'm very comfortable that they're going to be okay.
Okay,
and
well,
that's important. Good. That's important. That's Dave
Kitchen's not going to be okay, right? He's not included in.
There's going to be a lot of losers, and no doubt we'll have a chat about that when it's all said and done and that sort of thing. I think it's probably pretty premature for us to.
Okay, so I read the thing you sent me, Hendo. That's all.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can pass judgment on it, because at the end of the day, what's important, you know, is that let the process do what it's going to do. Right.
Yeah.
I get it. The information's public and all that sort of thing. But you know, let's let the waves wash up on the shore before we fucking start, you know, making sandcastles.
Okay, wow, I like that analogy.
Was that right? I don't even know.
That was amazing, Hendo. Yeah, well, your biggest thing was about the staff, so that's good. If that's the outcome, then that's a good result. Right, we've got to get into the questions because it's going to be the longest episode.
Yeah, let's get straight into
the questions. Why we don't do this on Friday night, because it's the longest podcast ever. Oh my
God, I'm drinking this fucking Trilogy Best Coast IPA. It's fucking delicious.
Is that a gold or silver?
Gold.
Nice.
Packaged bullshit. Packaged in 25th of October 2022.
What? That's an award beer?
This is no. I'm drinking this beer. It's fresh as fuck. And it was packaged in October.
Where did you get it from?
I think I picked it up when I went there in November with PK.
What?
Yep. Amazing.
That's insane.
I don't know what they're doing. Fucking amazing.
That makes no sense. Do you want to talk about the tribe, or you want to get into the questions?
Nah, questions.
All right, tribe. Yeah, okay. All right.
The only thing I will say about Tribe is I've got a mate who one of my former students who works there, and he's still working for now.
Nice. Okay. That's it.
Anyway,
that's the end. That's the end of the tribe confession.
Shit post.
Hey,
bring the shit post.
You can't read these, okay? You can't read.
Do you want a fucking scooter update?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, I ordered the.
Wait, did I get points for that scooter thing? Let me just double check. I gave myself points for that.
Yeah, you got points. Yes,
okay.
You won.
Okay, all right. Go.
Absolutely won. So, anyways, I ordered the big bore kit and the performance exhaust because I treated myself, and so they're on their way over. And so the big bore, the exhaust arrived this week.
Nice.
Which I'm really, really, really happy about, right? And so the thing is that because it's Italian scooter that I've got. Well, it's made in Vietnam, but it's Piaggio, so it's Italian. And Italians have ridden scooters since before the dinosaurs. There's instructions on how to install it.
Go on.
And so, but they're in Italian.
Okay.
Now, I could speak Spanish in the day, so I can kind of read Spanish okay, but
Can
I
you
can't
do
read Italian.
Can you do the app thingy that you do when you're traveling, or?
I didn't think about that.
Okay. There's an idea for you.
But I found a word that I didn't understand. It's ragazzaccia.
Does it mean bad girl in Italian?
Fucking 100% it means bad girl.
Nice.
I actually, I'm going to post this in the Facebook group as well. I actually Googled.
How do you spell it? Tell me how to spell it.
Ragazzaccia.
Yeah.
Ragazzaccia.
Okay, that's going to be the title of the podcast.
Ragazzaccia. Fucking sick.
All right, that's a good beer name. Maybe that could be the next beer name.
That's this year's fucking Boss of the Brewer beer, Ragazzaccia. The exhaust arrived and it's fucking sick.
Nice.
And so the big bore kit is on the way, and that's really good. And so I've put the engine crankcase back together. Crank's running good, bearings running good. I put the oil seals in and the thing's tensed up a bit, but I think that's normal. So I'm just going to continue because I can change the oil seals without pulling the crank apart again, which is fine. And so I'll sort of start to get everything back together, and we're okay. We're okay.
You're gonna make another bet?
I'm not betting on March.
Okay, I was going to say because you got 27 days to.
I'm not gonna bet on March because I'm away on a bit of business and that sort of thing. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Nice. Well, we just figured out the name of the next beer, or the name of your scooter, the name of something.
Well,
great name.
So what I was going to say is I actually Googled the katakana characters for Bad Girl.
Yeah.
And it's an album on Spotify, and I'm going to post it in the Facebook group.
So we have our own playlist, is what you're saying?
I've got a playlist, yes. There's a fucking Bad Girl playlist, and I'm going to post it in the fucking Facebook group.
If you're listening to this podcast,
if you're not in the Facebook group,
okay.
You go to facebook.com/groups/Boston the Brewer and go and listen to Bad Girl. I think it's like a various artists album. Now it's basically like, now that's what I call Bad Girl.
I like that.
So
yeah, well, get into it. If you listen to this for the first time, we don't always talk about serious things like voluntary administration. Sometimes we talk about
we're just
scooters.
Two idiots. Two dickheads.
Two dickheads. Should we rename the podcast?
Two dickheads with 12 listeners.
Two dickheads. Two is a multiple of 12. All right, there we go. All right, the questions. Prompt : I like that.
All right.
Ooh. Craft beer golden days fading fast as costs jump. That's an AFR article. I'm no longer a subscriber, so I probably can't read it. Let me have a look. Can I read this? Oh, I can read it.
You paid for the AFR?
I used to, yeah. I used to. I don't, now that I'm unemployed, I don't pay for it anymore.
It's probably a good idea, man.
Yeah, it is dog shit, though, I won't lie. But all right. It basically says craft beer is going backwards. Good drinks is defying the trend.
Yeah.
CUB acquired. I don't know. Yeah. Things are declining generally. I don't know. Got any thoughts on that?
Costs are going up.
Yeah.
Profitability's going down.
Yeah. I'll have a proper read after this, but it seems like pretty, costs are going up.
Yeah. It's shit.
Yep.
And interest rates are going up, and a lot of breweries are in a bit of debt. Whether interest rates going up affects that depends on the brewery.
Yeah, that's fair. Fair article based on that quick skim. All right, Craig Maiden, question : are we witnessing a turning point in our industry after the news of Tribe entering VA as a rep with a capital A after a comma? Craig, you're doing so well.
Fuck.
I am slightly concerned for what the future holds. That's fair.
I think that's reasonable. And so my take on it, and I genuinely believe this, right, is that we've spoken for many. There's always been that back chatter with brewers and that sort of thing, that it's going to be the downturn and it's always going to be the shakeout and all that sort of stuff. And this year it's here, right? It's here this year. But we've spoken about it on the uptick, right? But this year, with 3 VAs in the first 3 months of 2023, fuck, it's here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we're not even at the end of we've only had 1 VA come to a conclusion, one of the 3, right? And so let's see what happens. Maybe there's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines waiting to come into the business. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be some businesses that get liquidated. I don't know the answer to that.
Should he be concerned as a craft beer rep?
So if there is a genuine shakeout in the craft brewing industry, my point of view is that I think it's going to be the same as it was in the US craft beer shakeout in the late 90s, is that it's going to be a shakeout on quality and not price. Right? So if you're making good beer, you're going to sell that beer and you will maybe struggle, but you will survive. But if you're not making good beer, then people won't buy your beer. And if people aren't buying your beer, you're fucked.
But don't you think the fact that the 2 biggest absolute stalwart craft beer brands in the country have sold out to multinationals in the last couple of years is going to have an impact on independence?
In what way?
In every way. The cheaper cost of goods, unlimited balance sheet,
economies of scale, and
unlimited marketing, economies of scale.
Well, the thing is, right, is that
you see it in the marketing. You see it in the marketing.
Yeah. You got to put 2 and 2 together, right. And so, those breweries have sold out to the majors, and they get the economies of scale, and the cost of production goes down. But you're talking price now, right? Because that means that they can sell their beer for cheaper. Right.
No, but they have unlimited access to distribution points that they don't have to pay for.
Okay, it's still price, mate. Still price.
It's not price,
right? Well, it's a little bit of sales, but it's mostly price because the distribution becomes cheaper and that sort of thing because of the economies of scale.
No, but the distribution is based on a balance sheet investment these companies make that guarantees their distribution. That's how they work.
Right? But let me bring this back to the craft beer survey. Right. And if you have a look at the stats around that, and that's the finger on the pulse of pretty much what the consumer's thinking, the Australian the Australian beer consumer, not craft beer consumer, is thinking, they're starting to think about independence.
2%. Hand up. You're being very positive.
Hang on. Right. They're thinking about independence. They're thinking that they're definitely buying more beer direct from the brewery, perhaps online, that sort of thing. And that's profitability for those breweries and stuff like that, right? And so if you're a brewery in that situation, you've got to make the moves to sort of go where the consumer wants to be, right? And there's a hell of a lot more to be said about a brewery that can, without cutting out the fucking, the traditional, like, independent bottle shops and some of that, like, need to be supported and that sort of thing. But there's breweries who are selling their beer direct, right, in one hand, and then on the other hand, you've got Dan Murphy's and Beta West and that sort of thing. They're saying, or we've got to like charge distribution fees and stuff like that and slim out the margins and lengthen.
Well, of course they have to
terms and
charge
stuff.
distribution fees because they're distributing the beer.
I get that. But I'm just saying that the cost of that is going up. Margins of that are coming down, but the sales of direct beer is going up and the margins are always going to be there. It's direct sales.
Right. So if you're small, you're okay, is what you're saying. Direct to consumer and small.
You can replicate, even if you're a brewery the size of Black Ops, and you do this now, right?
I don't do it. I'm not there. Don't make it about Black Ops.
Well, Black Ops has, like what's the club membership thing?
Home Guard, yeah.
Home Guard, right? Yeah, and that's a regular form of income and that sort of thing. It's cash in the bank. It's good margin. It's good value for the consumer.
I know this. I made it, Hendo. You don't need to tell me this.
Yeah, but there's 12 people listening.
But my point is, like, if it's like he's a rep, right? The question was from a rep in the craft beer industry. He works for a decent sized business.
Yeah, good point.
Like, you can't pivot the entire business to just selling a few products directly. Like, should he be worried? As
a rep,
to be honest, I don't want to be a fucking negative Nancy, but I'm worried. I'm worried.
I don't blame you. Same. Yeah, absolutely. Bottle shop sales are down. The survey said that. Bottle shop sales of the majors are down. Survey said that. And it's going to be a really fucking tough year. And
most of the big brands are owned by multinational corporations with unlimited budgets.
Yeah.
And the only independent brand that was putting a lot of money into marketing just pulled out of the deal. The only recent deal that happened with an independent, with Gage Roads and Stomping Ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good signal.
Indeed. But I think there'll be a lot of opportunities as well.
Okay.
And I think brew pubs will do okay. They'll struggle a bit, but they'll be okay, even in a broader economic downturn, that sort of thing. Your article, I think, is going to be pretty poignant this year. The old Valley of Death, 2-part series that you did, right? The numbers around the Valley of Death have shifted because of the excise refund that's changed around the volume versus dollars and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But largely that is still true.
Yeah. I have to read that again. I'd like to write some more blog posts. Maybe I can just do that.
You're not allowed. You're on fun employment.
That's true. I got to think of something to do, though.
Write another book.
I don't know. I've written 6. I got nothing else to write about. What else do you write about?
I don't know. Like, fucking build a scooter. Write about scooters.
All right. I'll do that. All right. Next question. Steve York. Question : I like that. As a home brewer, I'm hypercritical of the beers I produce to the point where I can't enjoy them. Will find something wrong with it until I get confirmation from someone else that it's a good drop. Yeah, that's fair. Hendo, is this a common issue amongst brewers, or am I alone with the negative thoughts in my head? Good question.
That's a very good question. I hate my beer. Always have. Because I always feel that I can do better, right? And so, who was that who asked that question?
It was Steve York.
Steve York. Okay, so Steve, here's my take on it. Right, is that if you set the bar of your own beer so high, failure is inevitable. Right? Can't do it. It will absolutely fucking destroy you. And so, and this is just general life advice as well. Like, this is life advice. Don't set the bar so high that failure becomes inevitable. Rather, and I do this with beer, is be like very sort of targeted in if you're going to improve a beer, don't try and improve everything. Just focus on one thing. Maybe a water, maybe the hop combination, maybe the yeast, maybe the fermentation temperature, something like that, right? Just focus on, if you're going to change, keep making the same beer for a start, right?
Yeah.
If you think you're a bad brewer, it's probably because you're making 20 different types of fucking beer. And you make it, whenever you make a new type of beer, you don't normally make, it's going to work out shit the first batch. And so you're making all these beers for the first time and they're all shit. Have that one beer, right? Your one beer that's your benchmark, right? The one beer you enjoy drinking, and keep making that one beer in the mix of all the other beers that you make in your home brew and that sort of thing, right? And when you change that beer to make it better, don't change 5 things, just change one, right? Just change that one thing. And make notes of you tasting the beers, because if you get really dirty on yourself, I can absolutely guarantee you haven't written notes about the batch that you made 3 months ago or 6 months ago or last year, right? So always keep good notes about you trying the beer and always write down your initial thoughts. Don't look at the previous stuff until after you've written the current stuff, and keep good notes and change one thing at a time. And I guarantee you that that beer will get really, really amazing eventually, and you'll learn a lot about making other types of beer along the way.
Nice. That was very good advice, and dare I say it, brewing advice.
Not brewing. Actually, it's brewing advice. It's the
That
only
was brewing
advice that
advice.
I'm allowed to give.
You're allowed to give that. That's good.
Financial
all
advice,
right.
not so much.
Louis G, question 2, Colin. Who's going to win in Bahrain?
Fuck.
Have you watched any Drive to Survive?
I've watched the first episode. Don't tell me about the rest.
No, I haven't. I actually haven't watched it.
I'm pumped that the Formula One is back. Oh my God. Oh, I've got to watch the practice tonight.
Yeah. I'm nervous about F1 this year. I feel like I'm being very negative this episode.
Why?
I just think Max is going to smoke everybody.
Fucking oath, the Red Bull's going to crush it.
Yeah.
But I think the teams to watch, and maybe we should talk next week about an under-over on the Formula One, is I think Ferrari are going
You've
to
already
be
picked Sainz to win the championship, so I'm winning that one for sure.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Okay.
New strategy. Good car. Hopefully new strategy, rather than we are checking. I think there's a lot of talk and there's a lot of hype about Aston Martin.
That's true.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I don't think you can expect, when you copy someone, when you copy others, you will never be better than them.
No, exactly.
Where's the innovation?
And part of it is like Fernando's replacing Vettel, right? And it's like he'll be so much better than Vettel. It's like Vettel's won 4 world titles. Like he's not a bad driver. Fernando's like 70 years old. He's awesome, but he's not going to turn that car into a fucking world title.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And fucking he knows it. Alonso knows it. But he's on his way out. He's got maybe 1-2 years left in him, and that's.
Wait, it's actually this weekend, so we should actually do. We should do an over under for this weekend.
As in because Bahrain is this weekend.
Let's at least do the podium, mate. I don't know. What do we do?
Oh, it's a tough one. I don't think we should be doing an under over on the first race of the season.
We definitely should
see the form. That's straight up gambling, mate.
Let's we both think Max is going to win, right?
Sure.
Let's do second and third, whoever.
Unless they have mechanical problems or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's possible. Anything's possible. Second and third.
That happened last year in their first race.
Let's do a podium. Whoever gets the most amount in there wins.
Rightio. So what do we do? Pick 3 people for the podium?
Yep. You want to go first?
Yes. I'm going to put Sainz.
Okay.
This is so tough. Fuck. I don't know I don't think I want to put two Ferraris in the top, but maybe I should. Maybe I should.
I'm resuming the cleanup.
Oh my God. Dilly Doo's just starting to go again.
What is your vacuum cleaner talking to you?
Yeah, she said she ran out of battery. She's going again. Check this out. What's this? She's off. Oh wait, she's gone underneath. Fuck, she's gone underneath. She's gone underneath the couch.
So what does it do? Just charge and then goes
There it
back
is.
and just starts again. Fuck's sake.
Wow.
Well, anyway, no pubes under your couch. I think we'll see George Russell.
Okay.
So Sainz, George Russell, Leclerc.
Wait, say that again.
Sainz, George Russell, Leclerc in no order on the
But
podium.
first, second, and third.
No order. Just
No
on
Max.
the podium. No Max.
Wow.
Ballsy.
I'm taking Max, Perez, Leclerc.
Shit. Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna win this so hard. Okay. All right. Next question.
This is for a cumulative 1 point, by the way. Most people on the podium gets a point, not 3 points.
Okay. No. Yes, 100%. Whoever's closest gets a point. Yeah.
And if we tie, you get nothing. Pushed on.
Yeah. All right. Paul James. Question. QBA's where was Dan? I was not there.
Where were you?
I was not there. Where was I on Wednesday? I did something.
You're probably in your pool.
Something fun.
You're on fun employment. You're not going to go to industry events.
Fun employment. Yeah, no, I did. I found it a little bit weird if I was to go to it because I'm not in the industry anymore. So it just felt a bit weird.
Yeah. There was no Black Ops crew there at all, though, by the way.
What?
I didn't see any one from Black Ops there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they were there. I just didn't see them.
Oh, I hope they were there. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it would have felt a bit weird, I think.
Do you know who would have been good to see?
Who?
Raylo.
Raylo.
I haven't
Raylo
seen
wasn't there?
Raylo in ages. Haven't seen him in ages. I love
Still
that
there.
man.
He's still doing his thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things I struggle with the podcast is like I'm actually not in the industry anymore. So like unless I do something in the industry, then the podcast.
So you finally gave up. You finally gave up brewing.
Maybe I should homebrew.
Good start.
I would like to stay in the industry. I don't know.
I agree with that idea.
I think I want to do something with software. That's what I enjoy.
Fucking 2-hour show. For fuck's
I know.
sake.
Sorry, dude. All right. You got room for a few more questions or no?
Yes, smash them out. Let's do quick fire.
Surprises from Queensland Beer Awards. Over under predictions wrap up. Yeah, no, we did that. That's good.
Scarborough. Yeah.
Anything of interest from the IBA thingy at range? I almost fell asleep at a table. I didn't go to that. You went to it.
Oh, look. Yeah. Russell Steele got angry at the dude from fucking state development.
Okay.
People didn't understand how education system works. Yeah, it's the same issues. We'll get there. It's just educating the educated. We'll get there. It's okay. That's the business.
All right. Well, I like the sound of Russell still getting angry at someone. That sounds at least a little bit entertaining.
That's what he does all the time at the
He does.
IPO meetings. It's all he does is get angry.
All right. Louis G, over under, are we going to be the most listened to beer podcast in 2023?
Fucking oath.
Over.
Absolutely. And I've got a plan.
All right. That's good because I don't.
And the plan is we have no plan.
Oh, okay. Good. Then we've got the same plan.
Yeah. Let's kick some ass.
Question, Darren Hosey, question 1. Have we seen the end of the big ABVs, dippers and neepers? There seems to be a push in the mainstream for low ABV drinks or smaller quantity to keep one standard per can. Stando, don't say
Yes.
standard. Come on. Recent releases like Sundancer and Buried Treasure were lower in ABV. Sundancer was 6.5%. What the fuck are you talking about? Question 2. Are the younger generations just plain soft?
Okay, so to answer the first question, there is no trend towards low ABV beers. The tax system is geared towards low ABV beers, and it's always been that way. And high ABV beers have always been that something special that you spend a little bit extra money for and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So absolutely nothing has changed there in 120 years since the Excise Act was put in 1901 or 1910 or whatever the fuck it was.
This dude's smashing Sundancers thinking they're one stando per can. He's probably had like 4 of them before writing this question.
Yeah. What was the second part of the question?
Are the younger generation just plain soft?
I'm nearly 50 years old. Fucking oath.
All right, and you drink 4% in Hollandias all the time. All right,
I'm
Paul
drinking
Metcalf,
a fucking 6.8% fucking...
Member of the Year 2022. Can I get a shout out to donate some money to a great cause and walk I'm doing? Oh, yeah? Fuck
Yeah, what's that?
March on Challenge. Paul Metcalf is doing it. He's got a goal of $425. Oh, he's raised 412. Is that a multiple of 12?
There's 12 in it. That's good enough.
He's doing a 11K. Oh, no, March 11K.
Yes.
Nice. Conquering 96 kilometers to put soldiers on. Fuck
So
yeah.
what's the who's benefiting from this charity walk?
What's that?
Who's benefiting from the who are the beneficiaries of this charity walk?
Support my challenge. Veteran suicide help save lives.
Oh shit!
Kokoda.
Didn't you do that thing with the?
I did Kokoda, yeah.
No. It was actually called Code Red or something like that. I remember seeing something like that at HQ years ago. There was that veteran guy that just said, "I'm helping veterans to not fucking kill themselves."
Oh yeah, we've done lots of that sort of thing. Yeah. But I did Kokoda last year.
Did you?
It's a similar thing, but I think they do it over a period of time.
I want to hear more about it. My father's a Vietnam veteran, and he suffered a lot for many, many decades before he got diagnosed with PTSD. So please tell me more.
All right. Well, put it.
And if you want to do Kokoda again, I'm down for that. And Phil from Hiker does it pretty regularly. And that's one of the things I'm going to do before I die.
He didn't do it. I mean, Kokoda hasn't like the Gold Coast one, not like actual Kokoda.
No. We're going to do actual Kokoda.
Phil didn't do it, I don't think.
Yes, he does it every year.
He didn't do the Gold Coast one.
He's done actual fucking Kokoda 3 or 4 times now. That's what I'm saying, man. Let's do that.
Okay, sure. Gold Coast one was a piece of piss. I don't even
exactly.
exercise.
That's why you need to do the actual fucking Kokoda.
All right. Well, I support this. March, soldier on, go into the Boston the Brewer group and find Paul Metcalf's post and fucking send him some dollars.
Yep.
All right.
100%.
Ben Johnson, question. Fuck, we got a few questions. Jesus Christ, 8-12.
So many questions.
Right.
Fucking hell.
Is the popularity of seltzers a problem for the craft beer industry in terms of promoting dumbed down palates that may have found craft beer but will now stick to flavored booze water? Do you think craft breweries making them are contributing to the problem?
I thought that we were over the seltzer fad. And
There's
I think
a
that
good percentage of people who are just happy to drink it.
some people just want to drink seltzer. And perhaps through Ben's lens that it's only seltzer, but it's just, I don't think that seltzers are going to be like cider. They'll have their ups and the downs, I don't think there's going to be any consistency around it, and we'll see what happens.
Wow. So the last 4 questions are all asked by the same question, Angus Grant.
Okay. Just
First one is-
rapid fire fucking all four of them, and I'll give you the
Is
one
Luke
sentence
Cooper
answer.
on a Facebook ban? Real lack of shitpost questions. Fine incoming.
I don't understand
Fair.
what the fuck.
Well, because Luke Cooper's always asking like 1,000 questions, and there's been zero
Yes.
until
Yes.
Angus Grant.
Well, yeah. Where are you, Coop?
Where are you? Question: Who is now doing dry hopping at Black Ops? Fuck, that's a good question.
That's actually a really good question.
Is
Who's
Phil-
wearing the red flannel?
Is Phil doing it? I don't know.
Oh, maybe sometimes.
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Does Hendo have plans to start a Cert 4 and dry hopping?
Shit, yeah.
Can I be the poster girl for it?
Mm-hmm. We're going
Or
to need
Cert
different
3
color
craft
flannel
brewery
because
flannel selection?
it's going to be senior dry hopping.
Okay.
It needs a different
Because
flannel
I've
color.
seen you dry hopping?
No, senior.
Yeah, because I've seen you dry hopping.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a dad. All right. Angus, second last. Over under. Will Lexicon half outsell Lexicon in 2023?
Shit, yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Last
Who the
question.
fuck buys Lexicon?
My wall is Lex. Question. Should we start a poll on what Dan should do next? Yes.
Yes.
Geez. Or just let him fade into obscurity and Hendo finds a new dry hopping podcast partner. Oh, that hurt.
No.
That hurt.
No, that's not happening. You can go do something non-beer or become a painter and only exclusively do Lexicon half and all that sort of thing, right? And we'd still be doing this fucking podcast.
All right. Well, we might need to put a poll up for the new host of Boss and the Brewer podcast.
No, we're fine.
Okay. We're good.
We're good. We're here for good.
All right. We're the number 3 beer podcast in the country, mate. We can't just leave now.
No way.
All right.
And watch us fucking get to number 1.
All right. You heard it
I've
here
got a
first.
plan. I've got a plan. You know what my plan is? Said it before.
Go on.
No plan.
Same plan. Okay. I thought you
It's
might
the
thought of
same
one.
plan. Hasn't
Okay.
changed.
All right, mate. Love your work.
Take it easy. See you next week. Get the fucking
next
VA
week.
guy.